Dig dog, everybody's Dead Moroz in the house! Salutaем! Any good children living here? Yes! And what would you like, small human child? Wait, hold on. Laptop! Yes! That is a very popular present these days. The elves have worked very hard on this one. So here, you enjoy it. A gaming laptop! No refunds! So has this happened? To you? You've been a good boy all year! And this is the things you get! So what is this, you ask? This is the cheapest non-Chromebook laptop you can buy. You want price? $150. It's like one tank of gas, блин. And it have Windows 10 Pro installed. That's right. This license installed here is basically pretty much worth the computer itself. So it means computer is worth about $30. So there you are, sitting with this thing in your hand, feeling slightly hopeless. Те какой-то real life is so cruel. But little did Mr. Moroz know, you have good friend on the internet, named Comrade Boris, who know exactly what to do with these machines. Давай, let's see what we can do. This video not sponsored by whatever this brand is. Prestige. I would not accept that money. You want to support channel? Hit that join button. Tra-la-la-la-la. He's Boris! I actually made a video about the previous model of this in 2020, and that one had Intel Atom, which was about user-friendly as a knife to the back. Wait, it just says Windows 10. You lie! 768 display, not bad. Basically Steam Deck. Yeah, dual core. That is $75 per core. 120 gigabytes of ROM. But slot for drive, not bad. SD card support for storage, I think. Just in case this hard drive does turn out to be ROM. 6 hours of video, probably with the screen turned off, with backlit keyboard. This actually sounds usable. Let's open up this suka. Collector grandfather's old pants in this box, блин. Now that is world-class fashion, my friends. I cannot. This is too much. This is so good. Literally made out of old winter coat, so keep that. Probably best thing in this box. Hey. Well, I have to give credit. Last time I needed to use gas mask to open this package. Now the area this package is almost non-lethal. Cover up serial number, Windows sign, does not see Pro, starting to feel like it's scammed. Only slightly. Cover up the advertisement. You fucked up my kitchen. Well, landlord will be angry. But who in the right mind puts white stone in the kitchen anyway? This feels like 15 watts of power. User manual. Done. Battery's already dead, what a rip-off. 6 hours video playback, more like 6 seconds, блин. You know the manufacturer really believes in this product, when instead of notebook or netbook, they just call it a smartbook and move on. Glue Residue, my favorite. They really know how to make a user feel at home. Screen flex, like a slice of bread. Body flex, we'll probably crack this by tomorrow. Keyboard flex. You will feel the table while typing. Privacy filter, Gopnik edition. So besides living in 2021, this PC actually runs 10 Pro. No, that is good news. I will run updates, be back in 5 hours. So this is actually 2 hours in, 2 hours straight of watching the CPU at 90%, literally only running Windows updates. But this is a fanless device, which means it never gets hot. That is good. What is not so good, however, is 35 gigabytes of updates taking room on my disk. I threw in one 8TB SSD just to fit some games and start filling it up. The download stability and write speed of disk was unsurprisingly bad, but about as much as you can expect from a dual-core 1.5 GHz device. So I stopped all game downloads and let Windows Update take all the resource, which is not saying much because, as you can see, everything, even the smallest process, takes 1% of the CPU power. Like fighting for bread in the soup kitchen, блин. Tried installing Radeon drivers, thinking the updates were stuck at 21%, but no, they were still moving. They were now at 74% for the big feature update, and I had not been waiting 3.5 hours for Windows updates. Yes, 6.5 hours in, the update was ready. Great news! And then it restarted for half an hour. At about 7.5 hours, I was finally able to install the Radeon driver, hoping it would speed up the device. It did not, but probably good to have driver for game. It hours in, and Metro starts downloading. Surprisingly, the only game to download at 25 megabytes per second. Everything else was running at 5. This meant that at 8.5 hours I had downloaded a game. 9 hours in, I'm going to sleep. Need for Speed Underground still downloading. And I left the downloads running for the whole night. Just so there is at least something I could play. And this morning, very nice. The laptop has not been done. Great news. 18.5 hours of continuous downloads now. I let it run for a few hours more, but this is I just give up. I shut this little piece of junk down, ripped out the SSD, and plugged it to PC. Remember, if you plug stuff to power supply, always use cables that came with the power supply, not the one that you find in your random boxes of assorted cables. Which in this case is meant to fit children's hands? And this better work. I had to drive to PC store just to get such a cable billion. This ancient technology at this point. Everybody use M.2. I link the new drive to the Steam library. You can do this in Steam settings. It recognizes and let you play right away. Plus 5 points for Steam. And start downloading everything at full speed. Nice. Since I had a few minutes to spare, I cracked open the laptop. See what's inside. Undo all the screws, including the one that says S for warranty. With the warranty voided, I had to remove the SSD brackets because they keep the PC together. Nice. Another screw hidden inside the rubber foot, just in case you ever do get this device and you want to open it as a joke. Because upgradability of this device is non-existent. Besides hard drive, and it does support a terabyte. That's good. Here we go. Battery, some ports on one side and ports on the other side. And this is the whole PC. Touchpad, one Wi-Fi module, and speaker on each side that makes silence sound good. While reassembling, I did manage to break screw in half. I not knew this was even possible. Full steam ahead and let the games begin. For obvious reasons, I record screen with phone, and actual screen capture software would require more resources than this PC has. I waited a while for it to take a break from doing absolutely nothing besides staying alive and decided it's now or never. Let's go. Completely accepting the fact that just clicking the launch button on any game besides Space Cadet Pinball will make this laptop melt down. What would actually happen will surprise you. Do not try this at home, it might be hazardous to you. Mainly to your mental health. 5 whole minutes after clicking the launch button, the game has launched. And it shot this animation for 2 minutes straight. But the biggest surprise of all, both the intro and the menu completely work. I'm so excited about this. Because I was! It also so you manage your expectation. I checked into settings, everything to allow us. And turn on ray tracing, click continue, and waited on the blank screen for 10 minutes. That's all I did. But the music did work, which was nice. Well, Cyberpunk, unfortunately not. It did never crash, but watching it struggle to load also offered limited amount of entertainment. Next slide, please! Well, it's matter, it's a 12-year-old game. Of course it will well, it has not crashed. Yet. And it did not crash, of course it did not. I'm not saying it won't, but it did not this time. And that's all that matters. Down to the settings to lowest and play a steady average of 7 FPS. Play this smooth as sandpaper brilliant, sometimes even climbing to 15 FPS. Okay, you probably won't be making gameplay videos with this PC, but you can shoot and you can enjoy the scenery. And that's what matters in Metro. And that's why it get a pass. 7 FPS, go enjoy. If you ever do make a gameplay video at 7 FPS, please do send it to me. Next game! At 9 years old, almost 10, this could go both ways, so place your bets now. The Rockstar Game Launcher installed very smoothly. Animations running at the smooth 60 FPS. Блять. Forget minimum settings, this is the PC for the modern man in 2023. I'm sure it runs a 10-year-old game. Ой, сука, блять, it actually runs. Not only does it run as good as Metro, okay, maybe not. But I did play it, and it was good. Aiming was very simple thing that it ran on 1/3 game speed. And since this laptop cannot overheat, I mean it literally does not produce enough heat to overwhelm the passive cooling in your hands, don't get sweaty. Try and achieve that on gaming laptop. GT5, it's a pass. Next game. This is Factory, don't mind this number here. A construction simulator made in Czech Republic. The gameplay is about automation and nuclear engine. And of course it runs smooth above 30 FPS all the time. If you played this before, you know it runs on a block of cheese, which this laptop is. It's a pass. Next game. Doom Eternal is known for playing relatively well on any PC. You can drop settings very low, drop the resolution by 10 times if you want. It runs on anything. Except for this PC. No Doom music for you, not even menu music. You launch it, it crash. That's the end. Try a few more times, it's a fail. Next game. It loads, it runs, it still denies the bites on alcohol. In most of the world, it also deep below 20 FPS, but who cares? It has rocket launchers and gravity guns. Good night. Half-Life 2 is the best. Barricade Simulator 5000, otherwise known as the best game ever made in Finland, is a simple-looking, yet very detailed and very realistic survival horror game. If your idea of horror is mosquitoes in the summer, it runs at 7 FPS. Honestly, there is 3 more than you need to make sense of this game. It's an easy pass. If you're wondering at this point if I have too much time on my hands or I'm just slightly masochistic to chase such games on such a laptop, yes. Low settings, oh no! I left the game to native resolution, yet dropped everything to lowest possible setting. The menu launched fine, loaded into a game for about 2.5 minutes, but this is normal, this Fallout 4, not Tetris, блять. And yep, it's a slideshow. I could give extra points for actually launching a game this PC has no chance of playing, but at 4 FPS, you're better off watching videos of this game on YouTube. Sorry for that, short fuse, but no bomb, it's a fail. I have run this game on Intel Compute Stick, on Steam Deck, on water-cooled PC. I ran it on my budget PC in 2008. The loading times, yes, 45 seconds instead of usual 5, but once it runs for good. No crashes, no problems. Only cheeky-breaky. It ran so efficiently, it not even bother showing FPS in corner. It ran. Good, нормально. Let's move on. Actually, I don't think I even changed the settings from default. Either way, it's a pass. Another game I have run on pretty much anything. It's old, it's simple, it's fast. You can tweak settings to make it run on Potato. And tweaking is definitely worth it, because you need to go fast. Not at Mercenary. Runs around 20 FPS. Very good. What Space Cadet and Tetris are done, complete this game. It's a pass. Next slide, please. Okay, you're probably thinking, this can't run Doom Eternal from 2 years ago. Why should it run Pit for Need from 4 weeks ago? Well, because some games are so well optimized, they will run on your phone, on cheap tablets, on any PC you have, just to get more people into the online games, because that means game sales, and that's good for the companies, and they completely made all that up. It just shows a blank screen. The minimum requirement is 1050 Ti. Wait, I have one, I should test this out. This game is a fail. Roll in the next one. Well, the GPU driver is outdated by 2 years, and the system or graphics memory are below the minimum. Honestly, I'm surprised they have not implemented a warning like, you're joking, right? Every time you try to run games like this on integrated graphics. I do hope nobody buys a laptop like this to play any AAA title. Maybe 1A. B+ max. This game was actually nice enough to tell us to get lost and stop trying. Like an usher in front of a very fancy hotel. Sorry, please. Fuck it off! It's a fail. Next one, please! Takes a bit of time to install all these horrible dependencies, so long you have to place your cursor to see progress line move. Thanks a lot .NET framework, but it runs, and it runs fine. Around 50 FPS all the time, so best one so far. So when you're done with Factorial Dirt 3, come waste some ammunition. Hotline Miami is a smooth pass. It shows a splash screen and a very nicely worded error message, but you only get to see the blank screen for about 10 seconds before it exits out of the game. So, probably not worth the €60/$ they're asking for it at the store. You are currently using version 19.4, but the game expects 21. It's just a nice way of saying, are you sure you're using the right PC right now? It's a fail, no surprise. Okay, it doesn't run Cyberpunk, but this game was launched in 2015, so it should at least get 7 FPS. After clicking skip this file 400 times, the game launched into menu. But then again, so did Cyberpunk, so that means this could go both ways. Hope you just wait on the loading screen forever. And that's what they did. I'm still waiting, блин. Sorry, Geralt, it's a fail. Bring on the next one. Ah yes, the cult classic BioShock. The game that, when I first played it, in 2008 probably, thought was nice, fast-paced, but the whole plot and ending was a bit cheesy. And about 4 years after that, when people started making a lot more YouTube videos, I started seeing a lot of Western audiences being in shock about the ending. I'll try to not spoil too much, but I'm talking about friendly voice doing brainwashing basically. And me seeing them becoming self-aware about the fact that how this is actually happening for them, you know, in real life through media or something. And how they suddenly drew parallels from mass media and advertising having a similar effect as in this game. You know, the power of friendly suggestion or something. Shit, I hope it didn't spoil the game. And me as someone, you know, seeing from the outside in, I'm thinking, well, yes, that is partially your reality. And I guess it is very hard to see when you are born and grown up within that system, but that's probably why this game got so popular. And it hit red nuts. Or how you say it, red chords? I don't know. Wait, why am I becoming so philosophical about it now? The game runs fine, 20-30 FPS plus. It's a pass, let's try some more. Assassin's Creed games, at least most of them, seem to have a very high replay value. You keep coming back to them at least sometime later. There's always something new, something you can try doing differently, or some place you have not explored yet. Even the first one in the series, this one, does keep up with modern titles, even though a bit more simplistic. In larger areas but 15 FPS, in tighter places up to 30, the game runs fine. Older title, but looks great. It's a check. Next one please. Well, it's the only game that runs at 60 all the time. Go crazy, plant some potatoes. Have fun. It's a pass. Kind of a sequel to the It's Winter game that I did play on my channel a long time ago, but this one is about summer. And Babushka's house, and wheat fields, and bunk beds, and warm summer air, and don't even think about it. Up to 4 FPS, it's a fast-paced slideshow. But, given that there is nothing to do in this game, even at this FPS, it's a pass. Last game, please. Well, it seemed very low demanding game when I played it some months ago, but if you try to play it on this laptop, the cat is just nope. I'm literally pressing the forward button. Don't bother, it's bad. It's a fail. But wait, what about the obvious choice? Just install a streaming service, play all the games you want. I guess I did try that. I played some free demos, Lego something, beautiful, smooth, no problems besides input lag of course, and Ghost Runner, somewhat demanding game from 2020, but obviously more demanding than this laptop can put out. And if you do have a good internet connection, the AMD dual-core processor does actually do a nice job of managing everything. So in the end, if you do get stuck with this laptop, you're not completely lost. GeForce Now will help you out. It is a monthly service of course, but still cheaper than buying a $2,000 laptop every 2 years. Haha, not sponsored to pay Nvidia, I'm just saying. But for everyday use, Ryzen document, go crazy. It's 10 times better than the Intel Atom version. Okay, thank you for listening, have a good, happy new year. I say I see you next time. This has been Boris, and of course, stay chick-bricky.